નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Standard 8th, Subject Science, Chapter 16, Light. Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the new lesson, that is light. And what are the concepts? Concept is loss of reflection will be there, how the light will be reflecting, and types of reflection, how many types of reflection will be there, human eye, and what is the structure and working is how it will be working, and what are the defects will be there, and what you have to take care. So these are the concepts you are going to learn in this lesson. So dear students, the world is largely known through the senses. You know that there are 5 senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. See, all they are having the specific functions. So I will see the light or detecting the light, or through the world we are able to see us, and nose, smell, tongue, taste, ear is listening, and skin is feeling the heat and cold experience. So you know that every 5 sense organs, or all the 5 sense organs, are so important. But out of that, the sense of sight is one of the most important senses. See, if you don't have the eyes, we cannot recognize the world around us. Through it we see the mountains, rivers, trees, plants, even chairs, people, and so many other things surrounded us or surrounding us. We also see the clouds, rainbows, birds are flying in the sky. At night, we see the moon and the stars. You are able to see the words. And sentences also, see words and sentences you are able to see printed on this page. So these are all how it is possible. Only light is there, only that much is enough. So what makes the things visible, dear students? Have you ever thought how we see the various objects, or how we see the various things? How will you see? You may say that eyes. So our answer comes what? Through the eyes, or with the help of the eyes, we will see the objects. Correct? But can you see an object in the dark? Now you see, your answer will be the eye. But you see, at the same time, with the help of the eye, can you see in the dark? Can you see in the dark? No. It means that eyes alone cannot see any object. Only eye is there, that is not enough. But here, what is also there? It is the only when light from an object enters our eyes that we see the object. So eyes, as well as the reflecting, when light from an object enters our eyes, it means we are able to see that object. So then we are able to see that object. The light may have been emitted by the objects, so it should reflect, or reflected by it. Then you are able to see the object. The light may have been emitted, the object, or may have been reflected by it, then we are able to see the object. So only eye is also important. At the same time, object that will reflect the light. So these 2 conditions should be. So you know that when a polished or a shining surface, that is act as a mirror changes the direction of the light that falls in. Whenever the light falls on the mirror, that changes the direction. Can you tell in which the direction of the light, or can you tell the direction of the light falling on a surface will be reflected? We can find out that we are saying loss of reflection. Before that, we'll see some of the definitions. Some definitions of loss of reflections. So what is light? Light we have seen when light of the object falls. So that will be heterogeneous and it will reflect. So this all you learn. And here, before discussion of the loss of reflection, we will see some of the technical or some of the scientific terms behind this. Okay, you know that here, see dear students, what is a reflected ray? What do you mean by incident ray and what do you mean by reflected ray? The ray of the light which strikes a surface is called as incident ray. Okay, and next one is the ray of the light which comes back after the reflection from the surface, that is called as a reflected ray. See, first one is the incident ray, the ray of light which strikes the surface. For example, you will see the surface. Okay, for example, so here I will show you the surface here. Okay, suppose look here now. So this is the surface. Here light falls. So this is the incident ray. Okay, then it reflects from this. This is the reflected ray. This is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. Okay. The point at which the incident ray strikes the surface is called as point of incidence. So this is what the ray is here, incident, falls on it. So this point is called as a point of incidence. Okay, the perpendicular drawn to the reflecting surface at the point of the incidence is called as a normal. So here, this point, if you have done one line here, so this is called as a normal. Okay, got the idea now? So what you studied? The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the point of incidence and normal. Say for example, this is the surface. Okay, when light falls on this, okay, in spread like this, so this is the incident ray. And this point, what the point here this light falls, this is the point of incidence. And from here it reflects, so this is a reflected ray. And this from the point, if you have done the line here, straight line, perpendicular 90 degree to this surface, so then you are saying normal. So what is the idea? So now, another aspect we are going to learn, what is the angle of incidence? The angle between the normal ray and the incident ray. So that is called as angle of incidence. Say here, this is, so you should not see here, dear students, not to see here. So you see this angle. The angle between the incident ray and the normal, this is normal, you know. So this is angle. So there is an angle of incidence. So that is denoted by angle I. And now, what is reflected, they say, angle of reflection. The angle between the normal and the reflected ray. So this one. And not to see here, some of them are looking this angle, not this angle. You have to see the normal, this angle, in between. So this reflected ray and the normal, that is called as an angle of reflection. That is denoted by angle R, small r. Okay. So this is these are the things you should know that. So what we have discussed so far now. So this is about the loss of reflection. These are the terms you have to remember here. So incident ray, first of all, the ray of the light which strikes the surface. The ray of light which strikes the surface. So this is called as incident ray. The ray of the light which comes back after the reflection from the surface. So this one, this is called as reflected ray. The point at which the incident ray strikes the surface, the point the incident ray strikes, so that is called as here the point of incidence, and the point at which the incident ray strikes the surface, so that is okay, the perpendicular drawn, perpendicular means 90 degree, drawn from the reflecting surface at the point of incidence. So this one, this is a normal. Okay. Then the angle between the normal and the incident ray. The angle between is not here. Between the normal and the incident ray, this is called as angle I. or angle of incidence. The angle between the normal and the reflected ray, this is called as angle of reflection, that is denoted by small r, angle of r. Okay, then one more is the laws of reflection says angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. This is the first law. Okay, this is the laws of reflection. Okay, we are able to see the objects because of the light falls on them. So how we are seeing the object? We are able to see the objects because of the light falls on them. So all the objects, you know that the surfaces reflecting the light. That is why we are detecting or we are able to see the object. When the light from an object enters our eyes, so light from the objects enters our eyes, then we are seeing that object. Or you can say the bouncing back of the light rays. The bouncing back of the light rays from the surface of the object is called as reflection of light. So what is the reflection of light? Here one more important term is the bouncing back, or it means reflecting back of the light rays from the surface of an object. So that is called as reflection of light. The two laws of reflection are, so first of all, first one, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. This is the first law. Yes, students, this is very important of laws of reflection. First law says that the angle of incidence, say here, this angle is equal to this angle, or angle I is equal to angle R. This is the first law. Then second one, the laws of reflection, second one, the incident ray, this one, the reflected ray, this one, and the normal, this one. See, try to understand now, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal drawn at the point of incidence, lie on the same plane or lie in the same plane. So this is in the same plane. This all lies in the same plane, not the other plane. So this is the second law. The first law is the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. And the second law is the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal drawn at the point of the incidence lie in the same plane. Okay, got the idea? Okay, remaining things we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us.